Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I'm so very glad that you've decided to join me today. Today we are doing a class to help lengthen through the body, to create some space, and to improve our posture. If that sounds good to you, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and then we'll hop into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Sending that right foot back. We are going to begin class today on our backs in a Savasana pose, or corpse pose. Finding a comfortable place to be. And we'll take a few deep breaths in through the nose. And let them go as a sigh. And with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead and reach them towards the back of our mat. So we point the toes out in front, full body stretch, reaching long and taking up space. With our next exhale, we'll slide the arms down so the elbows are in line with the shoulders. Fingertips are still pointed towards the back of our mat, but we're finding a little extra lengthening across the collarbones. You may feel more comfortable if you kind of lift one shoulder at a time to bring the shoulder blades closer to the spine to give you a little more space. Now pressing the elbows down towards the floor or pressing the fingertips down towards the floor or both. So we find that expansion. Now we'll turn our chin over to our left shoulder and pause here. We'll bring the chin back through center and then take the chin over to our right shoulder. And again, we'll pause here. Moving the head back to a neutral, eyes up to the ceiling. We'll slide the arms around and beside the body as we walk the bottoms of the feet in. Now getting rid of any space in our low back that's not touching the mat by lifting the hips, tucking them under, and then setting the hips down. We'll heel toe the feet towards the outer edges of our mat and windshield wiper them back and forth, dropping both knees over to one side, up through center, and over to the other side. Moving at a pace that feels right, feels good in your body today. Good. The next time that our knees are over to our left side, we'll pick up our left leg and drop the ankle over our right knee, adding a little extra pressure, a little extra weight to our right side, so we feel a nice side stretch. You may feel it up the front of your body, you may feel it up the back of your body, and wherever you feel this stretch is correct. Now we'll take the eyes and move them over to our right side. We'll bring the eyes back up towards the ceiling as we remove the left foot from the right leg. Reach both knees up to the ceiling and then over to our right side. Now we'll pick up our right ankle and drape it over our left knee, gently pressing into that knee. And then we'll turn our eyes over to our left side. Moving the eyes back up before we remove the right foot from the left knee. We'll take both knees back up to the ceiling, and then we'll bring the knees into the chest to give them a nice big squeeze to the body here. Now you can keep the back of your head down for balance, or you can tuck chin to chest and roll into a nice tight ball. Maybe rocking side to side or forward and back, massaging out the low back, the mid back. And then we'll roll all the way over to our left side. Take a breath or two here before we use the hands to press us up to our easy seat. Now we can find a lotus pose if that's comfortable in your body today, or we can just have the legs crossed underneath of us, finding a place that's comfortable and that we can sit in for a few moments. We'll reach tall with the top of the head, bringing hands to the knees. And with our exhale, we'll press back through the spine, drop chin to chest. Inhale, we'll shine the chest forward as we lift the eyes towards the ceiling and press the chest out in front. Exhale, we'll curl. Inhale, we'll lengthen. Moving back and forth with our seated cat-cows. And back to our neutral. We're going to find the same kind of spinal movement, but we're going to barrel roll our chest. So think rib cage as we move around in a big circle. Chest goes forward and then curls back or arches back as we come around. And we'll switch directions and circle the chest around in the other way. And back through center again. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll drop the fingertips to the shoulders. Now we're going to find a swimming motion, keeping the hips where they are. The sit bones planted to the floor. And we'll reach forward with the elbow and then back behind as we draw big circles out to our sides with our elbows. Switch directions and we'll swim the arms backwards. And we'll remove the fingertips from the shoulders, dropping our left hand down to the mat beside us. We'll inhale, reach the right arm up and over to our left side. For our side bend, press down through the right hip and out through the right fingertips. Inhale. We'll rainbow the arms over to our other side, reaching to the right, pressing down through the left hip and lengthening through the whole of the left side. Inhale back through center again, both arms to the ceiling. With our exhale, we'll continue to reach with the fingertips, hinging from the waist. For our seated forward fold, drop the chin to the chest. We'll nod the head yes. Shake the head no. And pressing down through the hips and imagining the hands and the head being very heavy, we'll ragdoll our way back to seated, rolling one vertebrae up past the next, dragging the hands along with us. And then lifting the shoulders and then the top of the head. We'll roll the shoulders back a few times. And then we'll move to our tabletop. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Wiggle out the tailbone slightly. And we'll tuck the toes under, pressing into the fingertips as we send the hips up and back behind. Now wiggle it out here. Maybe pedal out the legs or swivel the hips. And we'll start walking our feet into our hands in as many or as few steps as you'd like to take. Once we get there, we'll inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. Drop them down to the floor. Circle them to our sides and lift us up to the ceiling. Exhale, we'll drop the elbows alongside our shoulders, splay the fingertips, maybe a baby back bend, or maybe not. Reach the arms back up to the ceiling, and then we'll let them drop to our sides as we wiggle out. With an inhale, reach tall to the ceiling. We'll interlock all fingers but our pointers and send those up tall. Now we're going to move our fingertips over to our left side. So we're pressing our hips to our right, so we're making a nice C or banana shape with the body. And if we'd like, we can pick up our right foot and take it over to our left side, dropping the toes down, side bend. With an inhale, move through center. Replace our foot if we picked it up and moved it. And we'll do our other side. Fingertips move to our right. And we have that option to pick up our left foot, drop it to our right side as well. Or finding our C shape, side bend. Inhale through center again. Exhale, we'll wiggle out through the body. And we'll make our way back to the top of the mat. With an inhale, reach the arms tall. Exhale, we'll hinge from the waist, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Add as much of a bend to the knees as you need to pick up the right. We'll press it up towards the ceiling, reach it back behind, and then slowly set it down, moving to our lunge. Full breath in, even larger breath back out. We'll plant our right hand beside our foot. Inhale, left arm up to the ceiling. Now rolling to the outside of our left foot as we drop our hip down to the mat. Now we can scoot that foot into a more comfortable place if needed. But we'll lengthen through the spine, press the hips forward. And then we'll drop the hips the rest of the way down to our mat. With our inhale, we'll reach the right arm up, and we'll bring it to the outside of our knee, turning to look over our left shoulder back towards the top of the mat. For a gentle twist. Inhale, we'll rainbow or circle our right arm up, over and around back towards the top of our mat. Left arm comes around, plants as well. We'll lift onto the tippy toes of our right foot before pressing our left leg back. Now we're in our plank position. Spreading our fingertips out nice and wide. And we'll shift forward. Exhale, chaturanga to an up dog or a cobra. And then to our down dog. And wiggle it out some more. We'll extend our left leg back behind us, reach it up towards the ceiling. And we'll circle the ankle out one way and around the other. Drawing knee to nose as we shift forward and step the left foot to the top of our mat. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out as we drop our right knee down. Inhale, lift the chest up and reach the arms towards the ceiling. Now we'll tuck the hips under as we shift forward for our low lunge. Pressing down through our left foot to extend our left leg towards straight. Hips go back behind as we reach out in front with the fingertips. And then soften the chest towards our leg, half splits. Shifting forward again, back to that low lunge. Reach the arms up. And we're going to bring our left hand down beside our hip to the side of our mat. And reach the right arm up and over to our left side. So we're still pressing the hips forward, but we're finding a side stretch with a tiny bit of a twist. Inhale, lifting back through center, and we'll do our other side. Drop the right hand down beside the hip, and we'll reach the left arm up and over to our right side. Inhale back through center again. And we'll drop both hands to the inside of our left leg, moving us to our lizard pose. Now we can roll to our pinky foot, our pinky side of the foot, or we can walk our foot out a little further, or we can tuck our right toes under, pick up our right leg, and find a taller lizard. Now, if our right knee is still on the floor, we'll tuck our right toes, pick up our knee, and then we're stepping our right foot to the top of our mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Dropping the hands down to the floor, we'll nod the head yes and shake the head no, allowing the arms and the top of the head to be heavy. And we'll ragdoll our way to standing, rolling one vertebrae up past the next as we slowly make our way back to standing. Lifting the shoulders up and rolling them back a few times at the top. And wiggling out. With an inhale, we'll reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, hinging forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Putting as much of a bend to the knees as we need to plant the hands down. We'll pick up our left leg, extend it back and up, adding a little more bend to our right knee as we slowly lower our left toes to the floor. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out as we plant our left hand. Inhale, right arm reaches towards the ceiling. Gentle twist. And then we'll roll to the outer edge of our right foot as we set our left hip down to the floor. Lengthen out through the spine. Sitting tall in the body. And then we'll circle our right hand behind as we bring our left elbow to our knee and look over our right shoulder for a gentle twist. We'll rainbow or circle that left arm up and around back to the top of our mat. Lift up the right, bring it around to the top of the mat. Tuck left toes under to our plank pose. Shift forward. Chaturanga to lower. To an up dog or a cobra. And to our down dog. We'll wiggle out some more. And then send our right leg up and back. Circle the ankle out one way. And around the other. We'll drive the knee towards the nose as we shift forward and step the right foot at the top of the mat. Full breath in. Even larger breath back out as we drop our left knee. Inhale, circle the chest up. Tuck the hips forward. And low lunge. Now we'll press down through our front foot extending our right leg towards straight. Exhale, reach forward with the fingertips as we slowly soften the chest towards the floor or towards our right leg. We'll shift forward again, back to that low lunge. Reach the arms towards the ceiling. And with our exhale, we'll drop our right hand down to the floor beside us and lift the left arm up and over towards our right side. Inhale back through center. Take your time, find your balance. And we'll drop our left hand down and reach our right hand up and over to our side mat. Inhale back through center again. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. And with our exhale, we'll plant both hands to the inside of our right leg. Lizard pose on this side. So again, we have the option to roll to our pinky toe or step the foot out further. We can also tuck our left toes under for our lizard pose. Now, if our left knee is still on the floor, we'll tuck the left toes under, pick up the leg, and we'll step to the top of our mat. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Reverse swan dive the arms. Will bring us up to standing. Exhale, release the arms down to our sides. Take a moment to wiggle out. Now, stacking the top of the head over the spine by gently pulling the chin in. We'll reach tall with the top of the head. And then drop our left ear towards our left shoulder. If you would like, you can take your left hand and gently add a little extra weight, a little extra pressure to the top of your head. But you do not need to if you're feeling a nice stretch here without it. We'll roll chin to chest as we continue our half circle, bringing our right ear towards our right shoulder. Again, we can add the added weight of bringing our right hand to the side of our head, or we do not need it. And we'll continue to do these little half circles back and forth, bringing ear to shoulder and to our other side. And we'll slowly bring the eyes back to a more neutral state, taking the eyes out in front as we move back to the top of our mat. With a full breath in, we'll reach up real tall to the ceiling. Exhale to cactus the arms, maybe baby back bend, but lifting the rib cage forward and the chest up. And then we'll reach back up towards the ceiling. Exhale, swan diving forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Planting the hands down. We'll step both feet back to our plank pose. Spread the fingertips out wide to really press down into the earth. And we'll shift forward. Chaturanga to our up dog or our cobra. And then back to our down dog. We'll drop the knees down to the floor, either bringing the legs together, or we'll take the knees out further as we press the hips back and move to a child's pose. Pressing into the hands, we'll shift forward to our tabletop, walking the knees underneath of the hips, hands underneath of the shoulders. With an inhale, we'll press the chest forward as we lift the eyes and the tailbone up. Exhale, we'll curl in towards center, arching up through the mid-back. And we'll move back and forth with our cat-cows. And back to our tabletop, our neutral spine. We're going to do those barrel rolls again, this time on our hands and knees. We'll move our chest over to our left side, down to the floor, over to our right side, and then up towards the ceiling, moving in large circles. And we'll switch directions and reach over to our right, down to the floor, to our left, up to the ceiling, and around. And back to our tabletop, again flattening out the spine. We'll scoot our right knee in slightly to help us balance as we extend our left leg back behind. Point the toes down to the floor. And then we'll drop the toes straight down to the floor, pressing into the earth with the toes, so that when we press the hips back behind, we're stretching up the backs of the legs, stretching the calves. We'll shift our weight back forward into our hands and knees evenly as we pick up our left leg again. Now we're going to take it over to our right side of the mat, drop the toes back down to the floor. And we'll find our side stretch by looking over our right shoulder back at our toes. Taking the eyes to the top of the mat first before we pick up our left leg, and then we'll move it all the way over to our left side, dropping the inside of the foot down beside us, and then we'll press the hips back behind. We'll move forward again, Pick up our left leg, pause for a second, and then we'll extend it back behind and bring the knee to the mat. Wiggle out through the hips. And we'll scoot our left knee in so that we can pick up our right leg, point the toes straight down to the floor. And then we'll set them down, press into the earth as we press back through the rest of the body. Stretching the calves, the bottom of the foot, all the way up the leg. Shifting forward to pick up our right leg. We'll take it over to our left side, drop the toes down, and look over the left shoulder. Eyes go forward first before we pick up our right leg and take the foot around to our right side. Drop the inside or bottom of the foot down as we shift the hips back behind. We'll move forward again. Pick up the right leg, pause, and then circle it back around and bring the knee down. We'll lock the hands into the knees. We can sit on the legs. Finding our tall posture again. Roll the shoulders back and down. We'll gently pull the chin over the chest. The back of the head back slightly. And take a few deep breaths here. Maybe drop the shoulders a little further away from the ears. Good. We'll bring both hands over to one side to help us circle the legs around, scooting towards the middle of our mat. And we'll take the knees out towards the outer edges of our mat so they're wider than our hips. And we'll windshield wiper the knees back and forth like we did at the beginning of class, dropping them both in one direction, up through center to the other. And we'll take both knees back up to the ceiling, sitting tall so we can remove the hands from behind us. And we'll lengthen out through the top of the spine. Engaging through the core, so we're pulling ribs and hips a little bit closer together. And we'll take the arms on either side of the knees. Now we'll move to our boat pose by either keeping our big toes down on the floor, or by taking our shins parallel to the floor, or by extending the legs fully straight. Finding a variation that's challenging while still giving yourself grace. Getting any extra wigglies out here at the end of class. And we'll start expanding out longer and longer until we're down on the floor and back to our full body stretch. Take some time to slow the breath down again. Big breaths in through the nose. And even bigger breaths back out. Allowing the body to settle, to rest, to grow still here. Closing the eyes and relaxing the muscles of the face. Adding a little extra space between the upper and lower teeth to help relax the jaw. And once we've gotten the breath down, we'll change our breathing pattern so that our exhales are twice as long as our inhales. So we're fully letting go of our breath, fully letting go of our day, fully letting go of any stress or any worry before we start fresh with a new breath in. New energy, new life, new joy, new peace. And starting the process over again. Letting go of the breath and anything else we do not need. Bringing in new breath and anything that we are wanting. And we'll just continue this process over and over. Until eventually our thoughts of the breath soften away too. We'll bring another large breath in through the nose and let it go as a sigh. So we start to invite some movement back into the body by wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. Now when you feel ready, go ahead and roll to one side. And we'll take our moment of gratitude here. Thank yourself for coming to your mat today, for taking this time out of your busy day to refocus on you, how you move, how you breathe, and how you create these moments of lengthening, of expansion, of peace, and of quiet. Give yourself a nice big mental or physical hug. And then again, when you're ready, you can start making your way back to a seated position. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.